Record. Welcome, chat. We are 6-0 going into round 7 of 8 in the Vintage Challenge. Not the Vintage Challenge. It's the Vintage Super PTQ. Even better. We're playing against Dredge here in round 7. Let's begin. That hand is not going to beat Dredge. It's a good thing we know they're on Dredge because this is close to a keep and not Dredge matchups. That is... All right. Well, we've confirmed they're on Dredge. This hand is really sus. I think it's worth keeping and ancestraling on their turn. I'm going to play the Jet out just to help play around Mindbreak Trap in future turns. We don't know if which... I guess I should bring it back up and see if what their last Dredge list had. Legacy. Vintage. They last played no forces? They were on no forces last time. Maybe I'll gamble and just ancestral on my turn. There's some serious upside to ancestraling on my turn, but I don't think it's worth it. Nothing here gives me any indications. I'm gonna just go Jet, pass, and ancestral. Oh, they're F6'd. No, they're not exactly F6'd anymore. I'm gonna go on their turn. Okay, just resolved. They might just be on no force Dredge. I think play fish would be incorrect. Sure, don't care. They have to take this mystical tutor probably. Okay, so they're probably on no forces in the main, 4 forces in the board. Vigors in the main. Why do I keep closing the stupid window? 3 unmasks main, 4 vigor, 4 will board. No vigor main. Wow, okay. See what kind of dredgers they have here. Up to 5, down to 2. They went for the brainstorm. Interesting. I guess I can't tinker this turn. So I can't exactly mystical. Interesting. Wastelands? None. Just 4 Bazaar. Just all in Dredge. It's a Dread return. This is a very classic list. A very classic list. Oh, you're right. There's a Wasteland in Exile. Ah! All right, so we have no idea what their list is. They could totally still have forces. I think there's probably Force of Wills and Vigors in the board. But yes, that is definitely a Wasteland in play. So definitely not on... Definitely changed up their list since the last time a list was published for Ryan. So if we had 1 more mana, we could mystical on our upkeep and tinker. But we don't. So I think we have to naturally draw. It's an interesting tank from them. I wonder what that means. Yep, we have Remora. Not that Remora is going to be super great versus Dredge after the Unmask has already been cast, but it's fine. Yeah, I mean, we have a plan. I'm surprised they took Brainstorm instead of Mystical Tutor. I think I would have probably taken Mystical Tutor, as it represents the easiest way for me to win, which is Tinker. And they probably don't have... Oh, they pitched a Chalice. That was why they were tanking. That's a tough choice. Oh, they have double Unmask. All right, well, there goes the Mystical Tutor. So that went very poorly for me. All right, so they have a Dredger and an Icarid. 2 therapies are already gone. 2 bridges are already gone. We'll probably still... I'm sorry, opponent. I'm so sorry, opponent. It's just one of those days. Okay, we actually bricked out here. We bricked out here. They get time. I guess doesn't matter. we bricked out. We bricked out. It's fine. We could totally lose this game. Oh, they have Bloodghasts. I should have known that. I see the Bloodghast here. Why not tutor for the card that's not in my main deck is an interesting question. They might just not attack. They don't really want to lose this bridge. Okay, they want to lose the bridge. Hey, no one said I wasn't running hot as hell today. No one said that. It's the opposite of blacklisted. Not sure. I don't know about tilted. They might just be... I think they're double queuing right now, so... It's a skill, yeah. So what did they dredge back? A thug? No, they pitched that away. They dredged for turn. I didn't... There's a dredger in their hand. That's high praise, Gimli. I appreciate that. Are there other super... No, I believe they're drafting Time Spiral Remastered at the moment. It is Dredge. You are allowed to do that. Oh, that's a good draw. That's a good draw. That's a good draw. I just stop? Like, what am I supposed to do? Okay. Game 1 versus Dredge. Just as I drew it up. Good God. This is so illegal. It's so illegal. All right. Hercule's out. Island out. Repeal. They have Chalice, so I have to keep some number of repeals in. Narset out. Remora out. Misstep out. Night's Whisper. It's okay. Preordain? Like this? Maybe I want to keep in both repeals. Probably not. Kind of like this. This is fine. All right, so we can assume that opponent probably boarded in Force of Will and Force of Vigor at the very least. I wonder if I can find a different Dredge list from them. Okay, here's one that has... I don't know. They just powdered twice. Vigor and Trap. This hand is garbage. We're going to mulligan this. This hand is interesting. All right, have a good day, Coop. They kept their 7 after losing 14. I think this is a keep. If I draw a Moxen, I could even balance. Oh, I guess we're not balancing. I guess they might just take Sapphire. It's pretty good as well. Okay. Unmask Gamer. Cool thugs. Just think no wills in the 75? It's possible. Mindbreak Traps and Vigors. Yeah. All right, they chose to take the top, which is, I think, a bold choice. What do I want to do here? One more Mindbreak Trap in their 75. 3 Vigors, 2 cards in hand. I think I want to just play Ponder into an Emerald. Yeah. That's the one. Run into this trap. I'm going to go Opal, Emerald, Balance. Bye-bye, Bazaar of Baghdad. See, go. Well, I guess I shouldn't play this to play around Wasteland, maybe. Dredge into an Archimedes. Oh, there has 2 Bazaars! Wow. Didn't care. Didn't care at all. Okay. This game got harder. Still have therapy. Just get to brainstorm in response, though. That is the 3rd Mindbreak Trap. Just gonna go keep Snapcaster, draw Merchant Scroll for Ancestral. Well, maybe I don't even need this Snapcaster because I have a Merchant Scroll already. So maybe I just go top, keep Soul Ring as it gives me mana. Try to draw Graveyard Hate off of Ancestral. That's a reasonable draw. Yep. Do like this. Go like this. I could get a PO, but I think I just need to get an Ancestral here. Ancestral. I guess we lose. Unfortunate. Was not the best Ancestral. I thought we had this game pretty wrapped up after that Ponder, but turns out that was not the case. They only have 10 cards left in their deck. They're going to get how many zombies? Couple zombies. Can draw Paradoxical Outcome here. I don't think Snapcaster is better than Soul Ring. It's definitely a possibility that I could have chosen, but I don't think it's very good. I mean, if I draw a PO, I walk. That's technically a PO, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm short. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I'm 100% correct, right? Let's just do math one more time. Snapcaster. Yeah, I can snap Merchant PO for 5. And I have replay on Triple Moxen and Soul Ring. Yeah, this is what I want to do. Snap. Merchant. PO. Have exactly 8. PO for 5. PO again. Probe for a card. Blue. Cast. Blue. I think I would rather save the mana than play an extra lantern. Or now I have snap POs because I have Sapphire. Guess we win. I can't say I have not run hotter than the sun today. I'm at 23 cards. Let's just do one more snap PO or one more PO. Where's my hell's my mentor? Monic. Mentor. Three block. I'm just gonna cast a couple more spells. Oh, let's go! I'm so lucky. Oh, wow. Top 8. Lock for top 8. 7-0. Not really fair to the rest of the crowd. All right, I'm just started recording. We're in round 8. We are locked on top 8, but we're going to play out our round 8. We're versing a very powerful wizard, Michael Bond. We'll see how it goes. I'm just probably waiting on talking through it with Michael first. I assume he will ask for the concession, which is with all rights within the okay things. And then we'll get this going. Nope, unfortunately, Magic Online does not have play draw based on seeding in the top 8. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Michael Bond. They're a really strong player, so have a good match. I don't know where they're at right now. But happens. Oh, crack my neck like that. Y'all hear that? Ah, wasn't good. Oh, did they just DC? Yep, I'm in the US. This is true. Maybe I'll just stop this recording. Oh. All right, all right. We're here. We're here. We're here. We're here. All right, here we are. Not top 8 yet. It's round 8 of the Super PTQ. We are 7-0 and locked for top 8. We're playing against Michael Bond. Gotta put up a fight, and if they can kick our butt, then they also make top 8. So let's see what they can do. This hand is no go. Actually, this hand could be a go. Assuming my opponent is not on a Wasteland deck, and Wasteland decks are definitely in my opponent's range. This hand has some pretty high upside. 2 forces against something like a Doomsday deck, very strong. The ability to ponder into a second mana source, and then have this Academy maybe cast a Tinker, pretty reasonable. So actually, on second thought, I like this hand. It's not great, it has some weaknesses, but on the draw, I think it seems pretty reasonable. Let's do it. I am recording. Sweet. Thoughtseize. Wow. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna force it. I don't think I can afford this Tinker to get taken away from me. I'm not happy about this, but I think I'm supposed to. I could get dazed here, and in which case I'm in big trouble. But if they daze, I probably have to force again, because they could take my Mox, and I would have no mana sources. It would be tough. It would be tough. That's a really. It's not a common card in Vintage, but it's certainly very good here. Yeah, I mean, realistically, they do the same thing. If they take Tinker, then I have like no path to victory, and if they take Opal, I have no way to cast Tinker. So I mean, force pitching Thassa's Oracle, which crashed for everybody, which hasn't crashed for me. If they had Daze, they probably would have fired off Daze. So I'm just gonna force this, try to draw Mox in, and go for the kill. I think I'm okay with that. So they have 3 cards. Yeah, I mean, a Mox in here That'll do. Didn't draw Moxen, but I did. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is how it is. They don't have a Wasteland in their deck, very likely, if they're playing Thassa's Oracle Thoughtseize. So I think playing out Academy is fine. Thoughtseize looks real good there, for sure. What's up, Julian? We're currently 7-0 in the Super PTQ, and we're playing round 8. So we're locked for top 8, but we're playing against Michael Bond, so it's going to be a good match. Okay. One more land needed. Yeah, I'm going to do data collection after. Is this a vamp? No vamp. Okay. Blue. Ancestral. It's a good one. Resolves. No land off of Ancestral. That probably means they have counter spells, which is also problematic. All right. This helps play around a lot of possible cards here. I'm going to jam. I bet they probably suspect that I have a Tinker based on how I defended the Thoughtseize. Looking for Force of Will, Force of Negation are the counter spells here. Could easily have it at 7 cards after casting an Ancestral. Okay, Force Pitching Brainstorm. We're obviously pretty far behind the ball here with no cards in hand, but we have decent top decks still. Okay, we got a Vamp on upkeep, maybe for Black Lotus Doomsday. Yep. Question will be, do they have a Street Wraith? Another question might be, do we think they know my list? Should I be bringing in Opposition Agent and possibly giving away the fact that I have an Opposition Agent if we play again in the top 8? That's kind of a weird question to be asking, huh? I wonder how much value is there in concealing the fact that there's an Opposition Agent in my 75 based on the probability that we might play in the top 8. Well, I mean, the downside is I'm not playing this match at peak efficiency, right? But losing this match doesn't matter. So it's kind of a relevant question. It's also kind of the question is null and void if they've gone on Twitter, seen my list, looked the challenge up from yesterday. You know, there's a lot of other things. Aren't I afraid of stream sniping? It's a worry, but I've consigned myself to that. I'm okay with it. I'm not worried about Michael Bond stream sniping me, so that's nice. And there's a lot of players in the running for top 8 that I'm not worried about either, so if it was someone I was worried about, I would put a hand hider up. So far, we haven't played anyone like that. And there's not too many people in the vintage community like that. It's a risk that I'm taking. Taking a nap is a bold play. What if I don't wake back up, Mike? What if I pull a Jacob and just don't wake back up? I don't think that's true, Vertex. But like I said, it's a risk. I'm aware of the risk, and I've decided to take that risk to provide you 500 viewers in chat with premium vintage content. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitch, and give me all your Twitch primes. Where else do you get to see top 8 Super PTQ no delay action? In vintage. Thanks, J-Lid. Appreciate it. So, for my opponent to kill me on this turn, they would have to have Street Wraith into Cantrip. If they had Street Wraith into Cantrip, they could Street Wraith into a basic land or a Lotus, and then Cantrip into Gusher Ancestral based on whichever one they decided to stack. Let's see if they have it. Nope, no Street Wraith. Okay, so we get another draw step, which is nice. Top draws include Ancestral Recall. That's not the one. They can get back the Lotus because of the card Doomsday. I'm just want to let my opponent play this out, and I want to see how they stacked it, what they chose to do. I think it's worthwhile information. Doomsday is very good. One of the best decks in the format. So it looks like they just stacked it Ancestral on top, and then they're going to just go Lotus, Thassa with Flusterstorm back up. Not that Flusterstorm does very much here. Probably drew into at least Force of Will. All right. Well, that Thoughtseize was very good. That Thoughtseize was real good. All right, so post board against Doomsday, it's Opposition Agent, Flusterstorm, and that was it. And then we were boarding out Repeal and Hercules. And then the question becomes, once again, are we boarding an Opposition Agent or are we concealing information? It would definitely be a very different game if I let Thoughtseize resolve. I do think we probably are on the losing end of letting Thoughtseize resolve, but would have been fairly interesting. We might not have been, right? Because the Thoughtseize could have taken Mox Opal, and then we don't have any mana. I'm gonna just board an Opposition Agent. I think it's fine. Michael Vaughn's so funny. Yeah, I like this hand. Well, there's some problems with this hand. First, Doomsday. I did not have any black mana. By the time I had black mana, I was dead. So a question here does become, if I keep this hand, am I playing Ponder on one? I think the answer is yes. So I'm willing to keep this. So I'm keeping 2 of these Magic the Gathering cards. Sapphire is a great one to keep. And Brainstorm is pretty reasonable as well in case they cast Thoughtseize. So oh, I guess I can't get both of those right now. This still represents Flusterstorm and helps me play around Mindbreak Trap on following turns, so still fine. I wonder if that means I should have kept the Preordain over the Brainstorm. It's possible that would have been better, because I'm going to be fetching for white or black. This Night's Whisper looking kind of awkward, and that's the reason why I cut a couple of Night's Whispers from this deck when I moved to 3 islands over over the more Esper version. Yeah, I definitely think the Preordain would have been better to keep than the Brainstorm. And theoretically, I could still keep the other one, but, well, a problem with playing Mentor here is it runs into it runs into Daze pretty badly. Now, I could just go for a Brainstorm, and it's not a bad choice. I could even go Brainstorm and Crack and then cast Night's Whisper. If my Night's Whisper gets Dazed, that's not the end of the world. But the problem with brainstorming is, what cards am I putting away? Like, I want all of these cards. I guess I could choose not to keep the Night's Whisper, in which case I don't have to have a black mana, which is good. So let's go with that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Brainstorm. My opponent could choose to Fluster here, or Dispute or something, but that would be okay with me. Immediately find the opposition agent we've been talking about. Maybe the actual thing to do here is get rid of the Mentor, as it doesn't really clock fast enough in this matchup. But Mentor Walk might be fast enough. I do have 2 fetches now, but I could get rid of 1 fetch as well. I could put Opposition Agent and fetch away, and then, well, that doesn't really help me with my mana problem, does it? I could just put Opposition Agent and Whisper on top, and then not fetch, draw into my agent. Don't like that very much, though. I could go Mentor and Fetch Land on top and draw into my Fetch Land. I think my favorite line of all of these is... this Preordain is going to be pitched to Force. I think my favorite line of all of these is actually... Night's Whisper is interesting. I'm going to be getting rid of both of my cards if I fetch. I think you have a lot of very viable choices there. I wouldn't be surprised if this is not the best line. It's possible I'm pitching this Time Walk to Force of Will as well and just keeping the Preordain. Watery Grave, another techie card. Looks like Echo Baron's got all the tech for this tournament. Watery Grave, Thoughtseizes. Do a Flusterstorm out of their hand. Okay. This is quite poor. Oh, playing into days here. They're playing Watery Grave in addition to Underground Seas in case their Underground Seas get surgically extracted. Their life total is not relevant versus us typically. Not thrilled with the idea of forcing this. And it might even be incorrect. That is the worry. This would have gone very similarly if we had time walked. So I wonder if a thing that Days Ancestral does do is puts them to 9 cards. So it's a little interesting. Especially when all of these cantrip. So we actually... so if we had let that resolve, we would still have a force, and if we drew land, we would have opposition agent with force backup, but they would probably have a land drop and have the ability to play Flusterstorm. I'm not super thrilled with the way I played this game. That draw is really bad. The highest upside play is just jamming an opposition agent right now. If they have second days, we get got. If they have force of will, we get got. If we preordain, we can try to find land and Flusterstorms, which are important. Opponent theoretically may have an answer to opposition agent. Typically an answer. The problem is they have 4 force of wills still and at least 1 more days, possibly 2 more dazes, and they just resolved an ancestral. I think I want to go preordain top, even though it's a lower upside play. I think slamming agent is completely reasonable. I think slamming agent is completely reasonable. I'm going to do a different line, though. Yawgmoth's Will land. All right, I'm going to keep this land, and this is going to give me... this is going to give me a bunch of looks. So this represents Flusterstorm. I also get 6 looks for my own Flusterstorm. If I can find a Flusterstorm, I have a much higher chance of this opposition agent actually sticking. So there's some upside here, but obviously the downside is if they just call my bluff or they can just jam a Doomsday and kill me. But it's a little here and there. Probe. Trying to figure out if I'm going to concede to that. If I boarded in agent, I really shouldn't concede to it because I already put it in my deck. Probe is so annoying here because they know we have no answers, even if we were to find a Flusterstorm. Yeah, and if that was the case, Kellen, I really probably shouldn't have ever boarded in opposition agent. Is kind of the problem with that thought process, but I guess it's still better. All right, we got brutally murdered in those games. I'm kind of off the idea of playing against Doomsday. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's not going to matter very much. So there could be up to 2 Doomsday pilots in the top 8. It's whatever. I'm not worrying about it, chat. It's like all minimum like it's all extremely small edges that it's just not worth racking my brain over. I don't think this deck is super weak to Doomsday. I think our deck has a fairly reasonable Doomsday matchup, but not a great one. Oh. Hello. Please relog in now. Yep. Okay. Thank you. Okay, chat. Top 8 of the Vintage Super PTQ. We're looking for at least 2 wins in a row here. We're in. We are playing against Arkan, who snuck in on 8th on Breakers. Unfortunately, they are on Jeskai, which is probably our worst matchup in the top 8, but maybe we can power through, see what happens here. What else do I have to say? I don't have anything else to say. Let's just win this top 8. Let's go. On the play, yes. That hand is no good, Mulligan. This hand is better. Keep. Bottom. Done. And we do have the nice Sapphire Brainstorm with a fetch land here. Tinker is found. So put back. Repeal. I don't want to put back repeal. Maybe we just put back repeal, fetch land, play our island out, draw fetch land, and jam a tinker. Kind of like it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Theoretically, we could put back a land and a spell and preordain this turn, but... Well, actually, let's hold the repeal in case they play one spell and like Mox Ruby. That's happened a lot. Then we can beat a Pyroblast. So let's actually put Ponder, fetch land, island, go. Nothing. No play. I don't know if we can jam then. It's really hard to justify. That's really hard to justify. It's really hard to justify tinkering here. But it just doesn't get better is the real issue. I'd like to find another land drop. Like if they jam like a Lavinia, gets really bad. I have to have one card to pitch to Force of Will. I know my top card is Ponder. I can't jam Tinker here. It doesn't make sense. So I'm not going to. I do think I'm just going to hold everything up and then fetch away the Ponder. It's tough. Maybe we want to just draw the Ponder and play it. We have a fetch land. Yeah, let's just draw this Ponder here. Looking for like land Flusterstorm. Merchant Scroll land is pretty good as well. So we can go get a Flusterstorm. But I want to hit this land drop as well. So do I just draw the land and then next turn we draw the Merchant Scroll? I guess I could preordain into the Merchant Scroll. We could even go repeal. The problem with repealing on my mocks is if they like play something that I need to repeal post end of turn. It's probably fine though. I think getting Flusterstorm should be better than getting Ancestral. Now let's reevaluate that. Maybe Ancestral is just the best play. Makes them hold open Pyroblast the whole time. Yeah, maybe Ancestral is a better line. I like the idea of getting Fluster, but if they just like play a third land and pass, Fluster is pretty useless. It's like really close. Yeah, I'm gonna get Ancestral. I think it makes the most sense. Now they like can't fetch there because they could get Ancestral on. Playing a 3-drop is out of the question. Could play like a Dreadhorde Arcanist here. They had Lavinia in their deck. That's not good. All right, well, I'm going to force the Lavinia, and if they counter it, then I'm going to Ancestral. And if they don't counter it, I'm still going to Ancestral at end step, and I'm going to Jam Tinker. I could actually Ancestral on my turn, which beats Fluster. But it forces them to have a force. Problem is negation. I'm gonna jam an end step, Ancestral, try to bait a Fluster, and then jam a Tinker. Now they have to have force, which they probably have, but. Oh! I'm running so hot today. It's ridiculous. no, I'm running unbelievably hot. What the heck was that? Yeah. Oh, Mystical Tutor, Opal, Island, Hercules. Mystical Tutor instead of PO. Opal Island, Hercules, opposition agents, pushes, and flusters. There's like some reasonable. It's not unreasonable to go for Soul Guide Lanterns, but I don't really like them very much. That was insanely lucky. It was a 2 out of 40, 2 out of 50. Yeah. I'm boarding an agent because it attacks Narset mostly. It also blocks Dreadhorde Arcanist. Both of those things. Not having my fetch land, so I have 2 dead black cards in my hand, is not ideal, but we can get there. All right, you get to see what we got going on. All right, holding open spells for my Tinker. Makes sense. Looking for black mana. Interesting. Not going to show that. No reason to. Not looking to repeal my Pearl here. So pass. How about a Jet? Close. All right, they have Sanctuary mana now. Thanks, Max. Soul Guide Lantern. An interesting inclusion. Yeah, that resolves. Does stop my Yogwell. Thoughts on repealing Soul Guide Lantern? Pretty bad. Thoughts on repealing Mox? Pretty bad. All right. Next. Not a bad draw. All right. If I were to go. I go 1, 3. Tinker my thing. I have Force and Fluster, 5 cards. I wonder if they'll crack this lantern. No, I don't think so. I'm gonna send it back. I'm just like one Moxen off of having like way more options. I don't think forcing in a Tinker there makes any sense. Sure. I definitely am interested in just repealing this. They want to fight over it, then be my guest. Now I'm interested in tinkering. Moxen would be nice. No, land. I get black mana. So what if I go... what if I crack and demonic for... What if we demonic for ancestral? Cast ancestral now. Demonic off of these two. Cast ancestral now. That doesn't leave us with Tinker Fluster Force, unfortunately. The problem with going Lotus is that there's a Soul Guide Lantern in play. We have Tinker Double Fluster, but nothing for our force. We could demonic and go for a crypt, which gives us plus 2 mana. And makes our flusters a lot better. I think we're not supposed to jam Tinker here, but I do think we're supposed to cast demonic here. They are tapped out a little bit, but we're still not exactly beating... I kind of just want to get Ancestral and like Ancestral on their turn. What about just getting Remora? Get Remora. Doesn't seem good. I think Ancestral is my best line. And pass. So they're going to replay the... Oh, they're going to gush? Sure, whatever. Let's do it. Oh, they're not even buying back like a sanctuary here. End of turn ancestral. So much mana. Don't really think it gets much better if we wait now, unfortunately. Maybe this should just be better used on my turn. I'm just really worried we don't have enough mana. Storm count is currently insanely high. Because they cast a million spells this turn. Five cards in hand. Ancestral? I might just use both flusters on this turn, just because I have a huge storm count, and if I can draw a blue card, I can go Tinker with Force back up. Okay, well, I guess I will. I got rid of their fluster, which is really good for us. We can't actually beat this fluster, so this is fine. All right, we're just looking for a blue card, I guess, off the top is the best play for us. Should be winnable. Blue card off the top. Interesting. Now, do we play it? Or do we just hold it for force? What's the likelihood we draw a blue card off of our first Remora trigger? Does increase the storm count. Storm count would be 3, so I should be able to beat a Pyroblast. I think I'm not supposed to play it. All right, Tinker time. Force. Force. I actually can't beat a fluster here. Two cards left in hand, opponent. You got a force. Do they have any lands from Gush, maybe? They might even have a land left over from Gush, right? Because they only play, yeah, they must have a land and a card. They can activate this Lantern. So if they have a blue card, they can activate Lantern. But then the Yogwill will kill them on the following turn. Citadel, please. I also have a land drop to give. Should be good. I think they're tanking over activating Lantern. Flusterstorm is so good. I feel like we played these games pretty tight. Waited till the exact right moments to cast our spells. Citadel. Sapphire. Land is a whiff. That's not. That should win, right? I can just bounce this Soul Guide Lantern and then Yogwill. I can also do everything. Well, I guess the Soul Guide Lantern and Yogwill would not really help me because I would lose all these cards in my yard, but it's probably fine. Don't really think it matters. Oh my god, I just haven't whiffed since then. There has just been not a single card that was whiffed since then. Holy shit. Sure. Why not? I guess I should have done that in the other order, but whatever. So my yard. Blue. Narset. One more. One more. Ooh, beat Jeskai. I think we played that so perfect. Oh, that was so good. Game one, we welcome Twitch chat and YouTubers of the future. This is the top 4 of the Vintage Super PTQ. A win in this round will earn me a split championship thing invite. Whatever a PT is these days. We're up against Sprouts, who is the highest win rate vintage player in 2021 on Magic Online. So let's do work on the play versus what I assume to be Bug. This hand. This hand. It's not bad. It's got a bunch of mana. We've got a counter spell for a Deathrite Shaman. We have a way to counter our we have Flusterstorm backup for our first spell that we draw, but we have to draw a spell. If we had just one spell in this hand that did something, I think I would keep it, but unfortunately, I think you have to put it back. I would keep this hand against Jeskai, but not against Bug. Better. Much better. I'm gonna go for... Well, should I go for Tinker, though? I could go to Tinker with Force backup. It's definitely a choice I could make here. Just put back Ponder, go for Tinker with Force backup. I could put back Ruby and go and keep the Ponder. Go for Ponder. Keeping Ruby gives me at least some ways to play post Tinker if it fails. I'm keeping this hand. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm going to mulligan the Ponder to the bottom and just go for it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. We assume Bug, but we're not 100% sure. Our opponent has 70 matches of Premier Vintage level events with Bug, with like a 70% win rate. I'm just going to go Island Ruby to play around getting Vigored here. And then I'm going to go for Mystical Tutor on their end step and jam a Tinker and hope it works. Because that's kind of how I play Magic anyways, so... I'm pretty much always down to jam a Tinker with Force backup on turn 2, so we can beat Daze, so no problems there. We get blown out by double counter or Collector Oof plus counter. Those are the big blowouts. Nope, Luris is bad. Just playing Bolus to Citadel. Survey says Force. Force. Citadel? Citadel. I'm going to leave that on top. This also plays around Vigor. Well, that's the whole idea, is PO is pretty bad, but Tinker is very, very good. Tinker Citadel is the broken part of this deck. It's the real reason you play the deck. This game is not over, but we're in a decent spot. This doesn't technically beat a Vigor on the next turn, which is a kind of an issue. They can Vigor in our draw step. But kind of unlikely for our opponent to be playing Vigor in the main. Let's go check out their last list, I guess. No Vigor in the main. They play Assassin's Trophy in their deck, though. Well, maybe they don't play Assassin's Trophy anymore. That was from February. I guess there's a reason to try to go off. You're almost never supposed to crack here with a force on top, so traditional bug lists nowadays don't typically play any. Bug lists nowadays don't typically play any, but Sprouts could. Oh, that's good. That should be game, right? Let's get a... Oh, nice. Let's just go Time Walk then. Never mind. My words are vampiric tutors today. What can I possibly say, chat? Anything that comes to my lips just happens. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's incredible. I don't remember what we were against Bug now. What do we play against House? Yes, I like Force of Will in this matchup. They play Collector Oof. When we play against House? Round 4? Alright, cut. P.O. Opal, Fluster, Hercules. Yo, Opal, Fluster, Hercules. Okay, yeah, so I trim on the things that get hurt really badly by Collector Oof and Leovold. Can't protect Narset from their creatures. Mystic Remora, they play too many creatures. Hurkyl's Recall, they have no artifacts. And Flusterstorm is like okay, but not great against them. Whereas this is all removal of Blightsteel Colossus and an agent. I do not remove Mystic Tutor against decks that do not play Pyroblast. Tinker is still one of the most important cards in this matchup. Yep, that's fine. We're keeping that. Opposition agent blocks Collector Oof, attacks Narset, stops fetch lands, and Demonic Tutor. It's okay. It's not specifically for this matchup, but it does decent work in this matchup. All right, 7v7 on the draw. Go. Ancestral on my upkeep? No. I would rather not play this C if I were to draw a fetch. So I'm willing to risk this getting dazed. So they do have a strip mine. They chose not to play a Deathrite Shaman and instead held open Flusterstorm. So now a question becomes, am I supposed to hold this Underground Sea? It's kind of a weird one. Probably not, because I just have a Yogwill. But the problem with Yogwill is I can't beat a Flusterstorm currently. But if they can, you think they would go Deathrite Strip Mine, or they would just hold open Fluster? I guess I technically could beat a Flusterstorm with a Mental Misstep. Okay, I'm going to play then. I'm okay with Yogwilling to get back a land and a probe in this matchup. I think that's actually a pretty reasonable play. If they play a Deathrite Shaman here, what I could do is I could just push it and still rebuy. Just draw a land and I don't have to do anything. They drew Vigor. Okay. If I force it, pitching PO, they Flusterstorm for 3, and I can just sack my Lotus and pay. Or I could try to PO my Sapphire, and that would get Flusterstormed. Hmm. Would they fluster? We could just like rebuy. I think the best outcome here is if we force this force, bait a fluster, and then PO back just my sapphire. I think that's the highest value play. And if they don't fluster, then I still have all my stuff. Yeah, looks good. I think that's the best play. Unfortunately, this Yoggle gets a lot worse with the Dead Lotus, but yeah, I like this line. This line looks good. I wonder if they'll fluster. I feel like if I'm investing a Force of Will here, you probably fluster in most situations. Didn't fluster. Okay. So that's good. Just next turn we go for Will. Don't have my misstep anymore. Two unknowns after Ponder. Opal was a pretty good draw, though. They chose not to shuffle, kept an emerald. One unknown. Wonder if they kept like a collector oof. Which we have a pretty good, we can beat a collector oof pretty well. Okay. I think it's going to be collector oof, which we actually... Do we actually beat collector oof here? Yeah, they don't have fluster up. Okay. Would we PO? No. Well, we should still tapping both moxes anyways. Hey, we know their hand, so we don't need to tap both moxes. Their hand is Scalding Tarn Flusterstorm. I don't know, whatever. I'm just gonna do it. I can't afford to PO here in case I miss on draw 2. Hope I just draw a Mana Crypt and PO when I know their whole hand. That works too. Maybe what I want to do is sack Black Lotus, recast Black Lotus, probe, and then PO for 4 off of Underground Sea. I think that's what I'm going to do here. But I can PO and I can still outcome with the leftover mana. So it's actually better to just go black here, PO for 3, leaving black blue. And then now we have Merchant Scroll, Ancestral Recall as well. Currently have 3 mana. Yeah, we have enough. Merchant Scroll, Ancestral myself. Not very good draws. Black mana, Opal, black mana, Yogwill. Opal. Lotus. Probe. Demonic. Ancestral. Brainstorm. I don't like how I did that. Kind of hate how I did that. So I can fetch for an Underground Sea, Demonic for a Mana Crypt. Wait, fetch for an Underground, that doesn't work. I kind of punted that away pretty badly. Don't think it's gonna matter, but I definitely misplayed that section right there. I think I might just Merchant Scroll for a Force. And then play the sea out of my yard. Maybe that's not even good because we know that their hand is Fluster. I could just jam an opposition agent here, and then they have to top deck something good. Trying to figure out a way that this demonic can be used efficiently, but I can't really seem to find one. I could just demonic this turn. I kind of wish I have snap push. So the worst thing that could happen is my opponent draws another collector oof, in which case I have to figure out a way to get mana. Best way for me to get mana is demonic for a Tolarian and then have a black mana to snap push. Oh, I could have played the Underground Sea out of my yard because if I'm going to demonic. That was so bad. Oh well. Could just play an opposition agent. That leaks off their land. No, I want this Tolarian, I think. I'm not super thrilled with how I did that play. I made 1 or 2 mistakes that cost me a mana, and it really fucked me up. I don't think it will end up mattering, but I definitely dislike the way I played that line. So I have Snap PO now, and I also have Agent at will. So what I'm going to do is just play at Tolarian Academy and play at top and pass the turn. I think I got too greedy trying to brainstorm cards back into my deck. And by trying to brainstorm cards back into my deck, I actually like screwed myself up. I'm getting the Underground Sea just in case. Maybe I can get the Mystic Sanctuary, but I'm like not super thrilled with that idea. Yeah, I could have. I don't care, I guess. I know they have a Flusterstorm and an Unknown. That's fine. I know they have a Flusterstorm as their last card, so I'm not going to snap PO right now. I'm just going to spin. Yeah, Mentor is good enough. That should be good. Mentor into Repeal. Yeah, these are fine. I messed up this game. I got a little greedy, but it's not going to end up mattering because, I mean, it's PO. When has it ever ended up mattering? So I'm just going to make 1,000,000 monk tokens here. Should wrap this game up. Definitely not happy with the way I just played it, but it's going to be good enough. Yes! Yes! Vintage is fucking great! Let's go! We're back! Yes! Let's go! We're back! Oh, hell yeah! Oh, man. Welcome, everyone. This is the finals of a Vintage Super Qualifier. By making it to this match, it means we have qualified for the Pro Tour via Vintage again, and I am extremely thrilled. However, one more match to play tonight. Can we beat the true end boss, Discover N, Doomsday Master, in the finals of this Vintage Super PTQ? Let's give it our best shot. This hand's a good one. We've got Fluster, Ancestral. Let's battle. Dark Ritual. They're just jamming. They're just jamming. Oh, I was hoping for Doomsday. Ah, I was hoping this would be Doomsday and not Necropotence. As anyone true Envoss Discoverin. All right, yeah. I was hoping for Doomsday. I felt like if they go for Doomsday, we've got Sapphire Land, Ancestral Fluster. We could probably win. But Necro is unfortunately the best thing they could have cast off Dark Ritual there. I was like thinking maybe we had a line, but we can get there. We can get there. See what cards they pitch to hand size. Okay, so they pitched Doomsday and Street Wraith to hand size. We've got double Fluster. But what's the best play? I don't think it's Ancestral on my turn. So at the very least, we're just playing Sapphire, passing it back, holding open double Fluster. We have the ability to Ancestral on their end step and cast Fluster to back it up. It's probably what we want to be doing. If we cast Ancestral now, we are playing around the ability for them to Fluster, but we also could be overdrawing. We're playing into negation. But it might still be worth it. We would only be overdrawing by 1. If I Fluster the response and I die, yeah, I think I would rather hold open double Fluster. I think I'd rather hold open double Fluster. That seems better. Blue, Time Walk. Now, they're going to draw a bunch of cards off this Time Walk because of Necropotence. I'm kind of interested in Ancestraling and following up with a Fluster. Let's battle. Ancestral, target myself. Resolves. All right, well, I'm going to Fluster this. I've got more blue cards than I know what to do with. Draw a couple cards off the Doomsday. I'm looking for like a Mana Crypt here to go Mana Crypt, Mentor, Fluster, like try to find Time Walk or something. They have a very low health total. It's possible we can pull something out here, but we need to figure out. So another alternative is I can Merchant Scroll for a Force of Will. And then I have Force of Will Flusterstorm. But first things first, I think the best thing to do is repeal this Sapphire. Didn't get anywhere. I'm gonna get a Force of Will. Maybe that's like too weak, but we're obviously super far behind just based on turn 1. But we have some avenues here, so let's explore and see if we can figure it out. Like a Mana Crypt, I think, is still our best draw. It feels fairly unlikely they would Necro lock themselves. They've been drawing like a number of cards each turn. It could still be an interesting game here. Sapphire's a good draw for them, sure. Sure. I'm not feeling too bad. I've definitely felt worse after a Resolve Necro. Having both of our main deck Flusterstorms in game 1, not bad. I'm thinking like Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Mana Vault, these cards that allow me to maybe PO or Mentor and hold open Fluster. If we can somehow find a way to go Mentor Time Walk, we have a chance of winning. Another Preordain. Yeah. Necro is worse than Tinkering a Citadel. And it was specifically bad for me because I actually had a hand that could beat a turn 1 Doomsday, but my hand was fairly weak to a turn 1 Necro. They kind of play off different parts of my deck in ways to combat them, so they scryed 1 top, 1 bottom. Another fetch. Okay. And it's time to Necro again. They've been very conservative with their Necros. I don't remember the last time I played against Discover N, but I don't remember them being this conservative with their Necros. When I play Necro, I just spam the button and draw a million cards and hope it works. But maybe this is the better way to play it. They would know better than me. Basically, the most prolific Doomsday pilot on the platform. Probably the most prolific vintage player on the platform. They're very, very good. All right, they go down back up to 7 cards. They're playing a slow Necro game, and we've got some answers. So, Black Lotus, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Mana Vault, Hop. I think at this point, I should just go Mentor. And if they don't have a way to counter it, we can present Lethal. We don't even need the Opal to be turned on. Just being a creature should be good enough. Yeah, but I don't think... I think this is a good position. Like, if they force this, it's bad for us, right? It's not good for us. But they are going to force it. I feel like we should fight it. How am I going to kill them if I don't fight it, though? It's a hard choice. I don't think there's a clear answer. There's definitely some value in Flusterstorming here. The problem with Flusterstorming is it means our Force of Will is turned off by days, which is really rough. So I kind of want to force here. But it's just not a great call. So I actually think I have to let it go. And then I have to pass. I don't even think I can play a top Opal this turn. Really don't think I think that would be very greedy. The problem is this Mox Opal is not turned on right now, so I can't even like get my Force of Will to play around days. It's a hard choice. I'm going to let it go, but I am not happy. I am not happy. They have 5 cards in hand. There's no guarantee they have a way to win. This is a close game for a turn 1 Necro resolving, and I kind of think it's because they were so conservative with their draws. Which is not to say that that was wrong, but I think that's why this game is close. We still have some really high PO rolls, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, that kind of stuff. So we have some play here. Thanks, Mana. Appreciate that. Even off-color Mox, I agree. Yeah. Another land. Okay, here's a Doomsday. Now, I don't feel like... So they lose half their life. That puts them to 4. It gives them 4 draws off of Necro. I don't think this can resolve. 3 draws off of Necro. You're right, 3 draws off of Necro. Which gets them past 3 spells. They wouldn't draw for turn. They would draw 3 cards at the end of this turn. No, it's just Force of Will pitch PO. I can't let this resolve. It's just not a play I can let happen. Discover Ren is a Japanese vintage player who is widely considered one of the best on the platform. Mystical Dispute. Okay. No. Now Flusterstorm. 2 cards remaining. Draw. This puts them down to 3. They get to draw twice. I'm gonna fluster this. If they fluster back, I think that's okay, because they'll be tapped out on my turn. Your move. Just for... Okay. 2 cards in hand, 7 life to give. Probably draw at least 4. Yeah, 4. 4 is the answer. Back up to 6 cards in hand. Repeal. I can't beat a fluster of their own here. I could go Opal, top, repeal on my top. I could go top, Opal, PO, no mana. think the best thing is just repeal the Sapphire to start. Once again. Ooh! Does that... So here I want to go top. Opal. Narset. Necro doesn't draw, but to win the game, they have to have no cards. Ah. We got negated. Pitching an Oracle. Spin? No. No reason to spin. Pass. I could technically spin into Force. They could also Daze. I don't think so. I think I'd rather... Well, I've already used 2 Flusters, so maybe holding up representing Fluster is really stupid. Maybe a spin there is fine. Bottom, Preordain. Cast Ponder. This is a crazy game of Magic. This is a crazy game of Magic. Black, Dark Ritual, Doomsday. Kill me. I'm gonna let the Doomsday resolve. Maybe I'm supposed to spin. I probably was supposed to spin. I don't know. Yeah, probably was supposed to spin. Oh, too late. I didn't spin. They don't have 2 Thassa. They have 1 Thassa has been exiled to the Force of Negation. They go to 1 card. They have 5 cards plus 2 cards in hand. We were probably supposed to think about it, but I do think my gut instinct was correct to not spin. Yo, what's up, Calc? We're just, playing the finals of a 190 player super PTQ. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy happening. This is only game 1. Both of us have used 18 total minutes of clock together. This is why I don't play Doomsday. Try to tell me what pile Discover End's making here. How the hell would I know? What kind of pile are you supposed to make here? This didn't come up in Jacob is Boss's Doomsday guide. No one told me what to do at 1 life when I'm making a Doomsday pile with a Necro in play. That's way too much thinking. I just cast Tinker and hope it works. All right, time to make some magic happen here. I need to take out the notepad, Steve Menendian style, and just figure out what the hell's going on. So Lotus, Oracle, Lotus, Oracle, 1 Fluster, 2 Fluster. You have a cantrip? Oh, we're just dead. We're just dead. Unless we spin into a Force. This wins the game, though, if I find a Force. Doesn't really matter. They shouldn't have a daze. 2 in the yard. Well, I don't know how many dazes they're playing last time. Discover N. MTG. Discover N. MTG. Doomsday. Survey says 2 dazes. No dazes. Okay. Force of Will for the win, probably. Survey says... Ooh! No, they can't draw any cards. As long as their last card is not a cantrip, we've won the game. As long as the last card is not a cantrip, we win. Their last card is a cantrip. So they put Ancestral in their hand. We need to find another counter. It's impossible. No, they gush this turn and kill us, right? No, they can't gush this turn and kill. Wait, if their top 3 cards were Ancestral, Gush. No, if their top 3 cards were, I don't know. Discover End's too fucking good, man. Okay, wait, I get to go for my turn? Okay. I think as long as they have a draw spell, they're going to win. I don't have any Flusters in my deck. Wait a fucking second. Wait a second. Hold on. That wins? So I draw into Time Walk. Wait a second. Hold on. I draw into time. No, this doesn't do it, right? Because I have to replay top. I think we're just 1 mana short. I think we're just 1 mana short. I can't draw 2 cards, though. This doesn't do it. This doesn't do it. Even if I was to spin and then draw the Time Walk and put the... If I put the Lotus... sorry, if I put the top below, I don't have Metalcraft, so I don't have 5 mana for Force of Will. So we have to spin again and try to find a Night's Whisper. Because even if I were to draw one of these 2 cards on my Time Walk turn, doesn't do anything. All right, so we almost have it. I think we need to find... I think we need to find another card. I don't have Metalcraft, so all of the lines you're thinking about spinning and holding priority and that stuff don't work. I need to find something else. Didn't do it. Didn't make it. Didn't get there. Didn't get there. So close. So close. But they're just going to go Gush and Thassa. Damn. Close game. What a beautiful game, though. That was a crazy good game. That was such a good game of Magic, though. That was such a good game of Magic. I'm not even mad. Discover End is a work of art, so it is what it is. If we had 1 more mana, we had it. We just needed 1 more mana. There's 2 Thassas in their deck. I guess we could have spun to protect Narset, but playing into a possible Daze is like really, really bad, right? That was the only choice that I didn't know about. Shouldn't we counter the Oracle? Yes. If we could counter the Oracle, I most certainly would counter the Oracle. That would be something I would do. I don't think Discover End's English is super good to do something like that. Oh, not forcing probe. No, because their pile can contain counterspells, probably. So the reason I'm countering probe is because if they do not have a cantrip in their hand, they are locked out of the game. I think countering probe was correct. Chat's going wild, but there's 700 of them. You gotta let them do their thing, you know? I think I played that game fairly well. I think Discover End's just really fucking good. We battled through a turn 1 Necro. Oh. Yes, I keep. So 4 mana. It's just Tinker, Fluster. Can I get some exclamation mark MBTs in chat? Anyone got an exclamation mark MBT in chat? Uh-oh. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't misstep me. Citadel, please. Yeah, why not? Sure, 3 cards off the top. Sure, why not? Mystical for Time Walk? I think Mystical for Time Walk. Oh, I have a top. Yeah, I should play top. I'm sorry, chat. The good play was the first 10 rounds of this tournament. Totally right. You're totally right. We should probably play the Sensei's top, which not deterministically, but fairly likely wins. Yes, no, chat, you're right. This time you're right. It was totally top this time. That's the swing of things. That is vintage. Sometimes you have game 1 and sometimes you have game 2. All right, whatever. Let's finish it. Finish them. Tinker is a broken. This one's not a keep. This one's not a keep, unfortunately. Because the PO plan isn't bad, and it lets you high roll. This hand is not good enough, especially with a Citadel. If I had 1 land, I would keep this hand. I'm going to mulligan. They kept their 7. That's not good. Though they keep a lot of 7s. They don't tend to mulligan very much. Let's mulligan this hand. Much better. Cleep. Bottom. Done. Yo! Another 5. Thank you. Umeli. I'm sorry. It's past the point, but I appreciate you. You're a powerful wizard. Thank you for the support in the stream.
TMI, Twitch, TVUSERNOTICE # I am actually little one.
I'm so glad that I don't have to super concentrate. Like, I'm obviously I'm concentrating and I'm trying to win this game, but I'm glad that this game doesn't matter as much as last game. Does that make sense, chat? Does that make sense? I'm glad this game is not as big a deal as last game. Bottom, top. Uh-oh. Top. Yeah, I think there's Clout and Treasure Chesty. Okay. I'm kind of down to jam it. They only have one negation in their deck. It's not necessary for us to jam it, but I think it actually makes sense here. Have Daze Protection? Fight me. Do your worst. Force pitching Thassa. Force back? Kind of want to. It's not necessary. Fuck it. I'm in. I have some misstep protection from like a dark ritual. Probe, show me your business. Dark Ritual, Dig, Preordain, Underground Sea, and they kept their top card. Ooh. Ooh. Any fetch lands? Any fetch lands? That resolves. I hate Gataxian Probe. You don't have to sell me on that, chat. Gataxian Probe is a dumb magic card. Should not exist, and I hate it so much. But certainly good for me here. They went bottom. Any dark rituals? Nope. No dark rituals. Yeah, I was lying. No dark rituals. That's not allowed. Ooh, misstep backup? No way. All right. Discover N is a boss. So they have no cards in hand. They have a dig through time, which is going to be useless after Doomsday. We have Snap Ancestral and Snap Misstep. Discovering's so good though, chat. Look at this shit. Snap Ancestral will never kill Discover N here, so that is not the line we will be taking if we can do that. There's no way Discover N would ever build a pile that loses to Snap Ancestral. It's just that's not how it works. That's not how this works. We have Snap Misstep if we draw nothing, but I don't think Discover End will choose Ancestral. I think they will choose Gush, which Snap Misstep doesn't affect Gush. So I think we actually are in trouble. I think we are in trouble. I think we are in big trouble, chat. Best draw off the top would be... I don't know. I don't even know. Black Lotus into... Whoa, okay. The best draw would be Black Lotus into... No, we can't do that. I want to get a Narset in play somehow. If I could get a Narset in play somehow, that would be pretty good. They're putting Misstep in their pile. What a master. All right, now we're going to have the notepad back out. Oracle, not Lotus. Oracle, and we have a Dig, obviously. Dig. Oracle, Mental Misstep, Gush, where are the dazes? Did they board all the dazes out? They must have boarded the dazes out. It's only one Oracle. They must have boarded all the dazes out. There are no dazes here, and they wouldn't take dazes and Gush. How many Street Wraith? 1, 2, 3, and 4. No Street Wraith. Clusters. 1, 2... 1, 2, probably a Fluster. Probably a Fluster. No Probe. Shouldn't have any forces. They don't have enough cards for that. Actually. 1, 2... Maybe a Force. There's only 3 forces here. Force. Force. Okay, so... Their pile is Gush. Maybe it's not Gush right away. Because they can't win on the spot with this pile. I guess that's true. They have this Dig to pitch. So they can't win on the spot with Gush Oracle. So it's not going to kill me until the next turn. So we should get 2 draw steps. Oh, they can win next turn. Sorry. Gush gives them 2 mana, right? So they have 3 mana. So if they go Gush and they Gush into Oracle Fluster or Oracle Force and they can go for it. Don't think that does anything. No, they can kill me on the spot. I just explained they can kill me on the spot. What can Ponder even buy me here? I force the Gush and we can continue playing. Yeah, I guess that's what we got. We got Ponder, survey says, forces? No, they have a Time Walk. No, that doesn't do it. If I take the Scalding Tarn, Opposition Agent doesn't stop them. I think this is just a pushback. I think it just has to be force. Because if we were to take Tarn, we're in the same spot we were before. All right, I gotta put back. I need to hit Force of Will, maybe Black Lotus? Shuffle. Sapphire. Can't snap Ancestral, chat. We can't do it. It costs multiple blue mana. Ah! Snap Ancestral in response to Gush is not lethal. Stop saying that. So I can snap Probe here, but then I have no way out, right? I snap Misstep doesn't affect them at all. That should be game. I'm gonna snap Probe though. But there's nothing I can cast off of it, so I don't think it matters. I guess I could just hold open mana and hope they don't go for it. That's all I can do. See if they might not go for it on this turn. They might wait, get one more draw. Possible. The game's not over. Yeah, they went for it. Discover End doesn't mess up, chat. It was a good run. It was a good run. You can't expect to go the whole tournament and just beat Discover End at the end. That's not how this works. Yeah. GG's. Doomsday Agent, one turn too late. Can't even draw. Magic Online is not having it. Discover End's the end boss for a reason, chat. Discover End is the end boss for a good reason. No one can be upset at that. No, it closed out? No, it closed out? Oh, no. That's problematic. I didn't know that if I hit that button, it would close out. I'm sorry, data people. I will still support somehow. I didn't know. I don't win anymore. I had no idea. All right, that's it. That's the end. That's the end, everyone. Thank you for watching. This is what we wanted. Second place in the Vintage Super PTQ, which qualifies me for the next, what is this called? Strixhaven Championship. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone had a great Easter. Like I've already said a couple times, if you're new here, my name is Justin. I'm actually level 1. I stream Vintage Magic the Gathering. So if you're interested in more Vintage, this is the place to be. Follow the stream. Check out the YouTube channel. I'll put the list in chat. I'll put the link in chat for you guys. Tomorrow morning, my second... if you want more PO, tomorrow morning, my video from yesterday's challenge where we placed third with the exact same 75 will be going up on YouTube. So make sure you check that out. So there's YouTube, there's Twitch, and there's the Discord link in chat. Discord is a great place to talk to people about Vintage. If you want to get into Vintage on Magic the Gathering Online, it is very accessible right now. Vintage will typically cost you around the same amount as a Modern or a Legacy deck. If you already have cards from Legacy, you probably already have Force of Wills. You're pretty much on your way there to playing Vintage. It's a really fun format. It's a super balanced format right now. Every week on Twitter, I put out all the data that we collect from all the challenges. No deck is above 55% win rate. Tons of different decks to choose from a variety of different playable archetypes. This list is great. I'm a big fan of this list. For this weekend, I thought this list was fantastic. It did all the things I wanted it to do. The opposition agent in the board was great. The Deluge never really came up. The balance was quite good. The Lanterns and Crypts have been fine. Overall, just super happy with the list. The Remora in the main deck, I'm still not 100% sure on. That was the card that was the 60th card into the main deck, and I'm not 100% sold on Remora being the best. It was okay at some points, but not really. Even this whole weekend hasn't come up too much. So yeah, this is a list that's ready to go. Great list. You want to try to dodge Pyroblast matchups as they are incredibly challenging to win through. But yeah, that's it. We did it. We got third in the challenge and second in the Super PTQ. We went, what did we go? 9-2 plus 9-2. 9-2 plus 8-2. So 17-4 on the weekend or something like that. Something crazy, something wild. So it was a good weekend and we streamed each and every minute of it. This stream is going on 9.5 hours now. So I am absolutely spent. I actually think my elo is probably fairly low right now because I have done very poorly recently in leagues. Is that gonna dox me if I do that? Why don't we try? I guess it didn't. Only 1865 right now because we started off quite low. So no, we did not win the whole tournament, but we got second place, which is good enough. And that's it. That's the whole thing for me. That's the whole shabam. I'm done. I hope everyone has a great rest of their weekend. I'm gonna find some more nice to send you. Who is streaming? Who's got streams going on? Who's got streams happening? Cube? How's Cube sound, chat? Cube or Legacy? Spam Cube or Legacy in chat right now. Legacy? Legacy it is. Off we go. You're off to the university, chat. Enjoy your scholarly excursion. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I am delirious from streaming for this long. I can't imagine doing this for a job. It would be crazy. But I hope everyone has a great rest of their Easter weekend. I am gonna pass out. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you come back another time. Good night.